let's move on to college. College football has been lit, bro. I
College is
mean,
something.
it is insane. This 12-team playoff has added a lot more pressure, a lot more meaningful games.
I mean, also too, like you can lose a game and you're not out. So like
Exactly.
you're still going for it. Like I mean, it's still a fight. You want to lose as less games as you can to get that tiebreaker opportunity,
Right.
but it's nice to see that like you can watch your favorite team, they lose one game, and then you know that you can still enjoy the season of going to the playoffs.
Well, my team, old Bama, takes a L to Vanderbilt, and then we lose, or almost lose to South Carolina.
I saw I was going to bring that up to you.
Yeah,
To bring up the Vanderbilt game, and I watched
yeah.
that South Carolina game too. That onside kick, I thought there was hope. I
I
thought lucky that their quarterback is just throwing shit out into the fans that game.
I know. Listen, this has been a problem with Bama for about 4 years now. We play up to the competition. So
Yes.
what I mean is, you seen what we did against Georgia. The first half, we beat the dog shit out of them, and then they came back, but we end up winning the game.
Yep.
Then you see us at what USF, freaking Vanderbilt, South Carolina. I don't understand it. I don't know if it's a coaching philosophy. Is Kalen DeBoer not as motivating as Saban? Is
I
do
mean,
these players even?
Saban. I mean, it's
Saban
different.
is Saban, right? And I don't know. It's just a whole lot of just bullshit. But here's one thing I will say, and I'll talk about it more on Bama Week with my brother. But when we lost that game, it didn't feel like a loss the way that I felt a loss before, especially to a
Yes.
team that we were supposed to beat. Because I didn't have any expectations of going undefeated this year. I'm gonna be honest
Yeah.
with you. Like once
It's a
Saban
whole
left,
new
I'm
thing
like,
going on right now. When one coach like Saban is out, it's brand new. You're starting fresh.
and you're not replacing any coach. You're replacing
No.
the goat.
Yes. Like it's not
So
like one guy comes in, you just get that next guy. Like you got to find somebody to fill in some big shoes.
yeah, and listen, Coach DeBoer is a very good coach.
Yeah.
I mean, I love him as a coach. I'm glad we got him. And it's gonna take some things to get used to. Like I said, we don't like change, but it takes time. My problem is we have a 17-year-old that is probably one of the best wide receivers in the nation. And
Dude, I just laugh at that because he should be in high school right now doing
yeah,
geometry and algebra. Like,
yeah.
golly.
And he's so good, but we live in this era now of football where you not only have to recruit high school players to come to your program, not only do you have to recruit transfers from other programs to come to your program, you got to recruit people in your own program to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say we lose to Tennessee or we go to the SEC championship, lose to Texas, and we get an early playoff loss? What if Ryan Williams goes somewhere else? What if these 5 stars that came in that are dominant go somewhere else? That's what I'm scared of, especially with all this NIL stuff. Like Bama's
It's
got money,
crazy.
but they don't have like money like
Oh,
that.
like Texas got money.
Money.
Money. Nebraska's got money. I'm not saying he would
Yes.
go to Nebraska, but like these teams that have these big sponsors from outside, like there's people that are going to throw in a whole lot more money for these other colleges than a national championship, multiple national championship winning college, which is crazy to me. Like
Yeah.
money runs the world, man. Money runs it, and these young players want money,
And not rings.
not rings. They want six figures,
That's crazy,
six
man.
figures. Some of them are touching seven.
Oh, big time.
Yes,
Big time.
so
And he
it's
would be
scary.
one of
It's
those he
free.
would be one of those kids to touch 7.
Oh yeah, it's free agency at the end of the year every year.
I
There's no
mean,
contracts. You can play 1 year and get ready to move on to the next.
bro, Cam Rising is eligible for an 8th year.
I saw that with a medical red shirt again. Just like what's that dude from Miami, their tight end.
Oh, I forgot his name, but yeah,
Yeah,
I know
he's
who
been
you're talking
playing
about.
since the Obama administration was in the office. Like, how is that even possible? That's 11 years. How do you play 11
Dog,
years of college football?
do they have their doctorate degree yet? Like, what
Like,
do you
that's
do?
crazy. Like, how much school is left? Like, what else is left?
I don't listen. I don't. The college football as a sport, beautiful. 12-team playoff, love it.
Oh yeah,
Um, you know, but outside and just the constant, now you can do this. Now the UNLV quarterback, after going 3-0, decides to redshirt and transfer because he
yeah,
didn't get more money.
which is crazy. Started off 3-0. UNLV was supposed to be one of the worst teams, and you start off 3-0.
Yeah.
Like, you just took your team to do that, but you're not getting paid like you promised. I'm done. I'm not going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Crazy to me. Which
That's
I'm
insane.
seeing UNLV right here because they play Boise State next. So
Ooh.
yeah,
Ashton's going to run for like 400 yards.
nonchalantly, nonchalant.
Who would, before we get into Nebraska, Indiana, who would your top three Heisman candidates be right now?
Oh, Ashton for sure. Obviously Ashton. Oh my God. Oregon's quarterback,
Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel, and man, number 3 would be a tough one. Definitely not Will Howard. He pulled a DAC on us last game.
Yeah,
Will Howard pulled a DAC.
yeah.
God, I don't know who the third one could be. Because right now, I feel like Ashton Genty is just running with it. I mean, you can say Travis Hunter.
I was going to go there.
Yeah,
I
I would say Travis Hunter. I wouldn't say Shador is even in the top 5 right now.
No.
But that's who I would say: Dylan Gabriel, Ashton, Travis Hunter right now.
Yeah.
Because you got to also see Travis Hunter's playing both sides.
Bro, he's so fucking good, dog.
Those first 3 games he had of the season. I mean, he played Nebraska that second one, but he still got almost 100 yards. But that first, who did they play North Dakota State first game? Yeah,
Yes.
that's when he was going off. But
Crazy.
yeah, it'll be, if Genty can keep running like this, he's running with a Heisman easily at the end of the year.
Yeah, he'll be one of the very few running backs to win the Heisman.
Yeah, I mean he's 800 and less than a high 700 yards left before he hits 2,000 rushing yards right now. They're only 6 games in.
That's crazy.
Like, he could do it.
Boise State, man.
Who would have thought? They're top, what are they, 15 right now? Nah, I don't think they're that high. But, I mean, they're up there. Boise State is ranked. Like,
yeah.
I like that, though. I like it when teams are like that. I like those little underdogs coming from these small conferences, Mountain West conferences. They're putting up fights. 5-1 right now. Like, I like those teams.
Yeah, they're 15th. And I like the parity. I like the parity in college football right now.
Yeah.
Especially in the SEC. My God. Like, these teams that the Georgias and the Alabamas and the LSUs used to stomp, it's just like they're giving us a run for our money. Like, there's never been a time where Vanderbilt was even close to upsetting us with Nick.
No.
There's never been a time with South Carolina was up close and personal with, that. And then, like, Kentucky, bro.
That one was, Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Putting up a fight against Georgia. Like,
and beat Ole Miss.
Yes, beat Ole Miss. Like, it's crazy because, like, we also don't realize it's a Power 4 conference. So there's so many more teams now coming to these conferences and stuff. Yep. It's crazy. I mean, Pac-12 will get back to it next year. They're supposed to have 4 or 5 teams coming back into the Pac-12. Yeah. But right now, I like the Power 4. I like having all these teams in 4 different conferences. It's just so much. Big Ten's got UCLA, USC. I'm obviously missing some more right now.
It's Oregon?
Washington, I think. Oregon. Yeah. I think Washington will be there next year. So.
Yeah. Speaking of Big Ten, you got a big matchup this weekend. Nebraska goes into Bloomington against the number 13 Indiana.
Is that what they moved up to? Was 13? I saw they were 16 during the bye week, but they obviously moved up because there were some ranking losses in that top 25.
You're right. They're 16. They're
Are they
16.
16?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
either way, Nebraska has to be. I mean, we saw Nebraska got a top 25 at the beginning of the year. They choked it to Illinois. Now
Tough game,
Nebraska's
man.
not going to be ranked until they beat a ranked team. That's how I
Right,
feel personally.
right.
But Indiana's Indiana's a true team. Indiana and Illinois made a shift this year,
Big
and
time.
big time. But Raiola's playing like he's a junior in college right now.
He's good, bro.
It's
I'll give you
crazy.
credit. He's
Like
good.
he's playing like a junior in college. Our running backs are playing good. Defensive line is huge, but there's times when they're looking soft, like against Illinois. That was not a good defensive performance. I knew what was going to happen against Illinois. Right when I saw how the game was going, I knew exactly what was about to happen. It's the Nebraska story.
Yep.
But can it shift this year? I don't know. You beat Indiana, you can go to number 20 in the nation.
Yeah.
So maybe even higher. I don't know. It's a lot to prove, but can Nebraska prove it is the real thing.
I mean, if I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think you guys should be ranked under Michigan.
Yeah, that is. Yeah,
Because they're
20.
24th.
Yeah, I was at 24-23. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
And I
And I
get it,
saw
it's a bye week, but
Yeah,
still.
and I mean, I saw the votings for the top 25. Last place was Army or Navy. It was one of the. I think it's Navy. But they're number 25 with 81 votes. Nebraska's top 27 right now with 67. They could have pushed through, but they had a big win. Navy, I think, the last.
Yeah,
week.
Navy.
Yeah.
And then Army's 23.
Yeah. Yep. That's crazy. Army and Navy up in the top 25.
That's insane, too.
It's crazy. Like the Army Navy game's gonna be crazy this year if they're still ranked.
Here's a scenario for that. So they're in the AAC conference.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll play. They have a chance to be in the AAC championship, Army Navy, and then they have the Army Navy game after that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is actually crazy. They could play potentially twice for one big championship and one good old pat on the back.
Yeah, and
Man,
possibly if they're undefeated and one of them beats Notre Dame, you could be in the college football playoff.
They could. And Notre Dame, I mean, they're good, but their story is chokes. They choke a lot. They're kind of like the Cowboys of college football.
Yeah,
Every year's their year.
I hate them so much, dog. Join a conference.
That's what I'm saying. Join a conference. All these little non-conference teams, join a conference. You're not doing nothing. UConn, join a conference. Like,
Right.
not saying UConn's good, but they need to go somewhere, try to win a conference championship instead of
For
basketball.
real. Yeah. Very good basketball team.
Very good basketball team.
Very good basketball program. But I kind of want to, let me just shift it back to Nebraska, Indiana real quick. 1-6 Nebraska is when it's 8 points or under.
Mm-hmm.
When it's decided.
Those one-score games are what kills them. There was that season, Nebraska, the best, 3-9 team in the nation ever in college football, and 8 of their 9 losses were one score.
That's insane.
Crazy.
So,
I'm telling you, Nebraska has a story like that.
how are you gonna beat this team if it's close?
I would say put it in Raiola's hands, but we saw what he looked like in those crunch moments against Illinois. I mean, he's a freshman. He's gonna have.
It was really his first test.
Yes, it was his first test.
Yeah.
Now, if he's as good as people are talking about it, he could make that switch after a loss and learn off of it. I mean, Patrick Mahomes 2.0, right? Like,
Yeah.
he's got the swag of him, but can he do it on the field? I don't know.
Mahomes.
You got to kill on the running game, though. We have so many good running backs, too. It's not like we have one decent running back. Like, you have a whole locker room of running backs. You got to kill them in the running game, run the damn ball. And then if they're starting to shut down in that middle, that's when you throw it. Like you gotta. I feel like we've been throwing it too much, which is crazy to say because Nebraska's never seen throwing the way
Right.
Viola is. But I think we're getting like excited about it that we're doing it too much right now.
That makes sense.
Like you're getting excited, we got somebody that can bomb it, but still run the ball, make them commit to the run game, play action. You got Nair right out there. You got all these other receivers that are actually good. Like you have weapons, but you got to know how to run the weapons. You got to use the weapons correctly.
Right, and I also think, I don't think it's going to matter. Here's what I'll say. Wherever you guys end up at the end of the season, whether if it's a winning record or a losing record, either way, I think Raiola is going to stay.
Yes.
I think he's done enough to attract some transfers from other schools.
And that's a big
mainly
thing.
Receivers, yeah.
From other schools, recruiting, you're going to want to come and play with Dylan Raiola. Yeah. I really don't see him leaving unless it's something behind the scenes.
Yeah.
If his uncle gets fired, which I don't think they would ever fire him until Raiola's out of there.
For sure.
But, I mean, your dad grew up as a Husker player.
He's on the stadium.
Yes. Like, it got revealed in one of your games at home field. Like, I don't know. I don't think he would leave Nebraska. That'll bring more people in. It's going to be 5-star receivers that are going to want to play with him.
Right.
Bring us Ryan Williams.
No.
Bring us Ryan Williams. We could do something with him.
Now listen, if Ryan ever came to Lincoln, I will be the first one at his dorm. The first one. Yeah. I don't give a piss. I love that kid, bro. God, he's so good.
He's so good.
I know, but
I don't know. But if the defense can play the way they've been playing, they just got to stop that Indiana team. I mean, their run game is strong. I mean, I feel like the Big Ten. Every team has a strong run game in the Big Ten.
Right.
Big Ten has the run game. Big 12 has the passing game. I mean, and SEC has the defense.
Yes.
That's what those conferences are known for. So if you can stop the run in the Big Ten, you're looking like you can be a winning team. And potentially, I mean, Nebraska, if they keep doing what they're doing and win out, I mean, they have Ohio State. That's a real test right there.
Right.
But you beat Ohio State, you have a real talk out of these two games that you win to be a conference playing game.
Yeah, so, like I said, 11-1, 10-2, going into the Big Ten championship and possibly winning it. You're a lock.
Yes.
But God, that loss to Illinois. But it's fine if you win out and let's say you shock Ohio State. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
you're good.
Like you got to have that one big win to forget about that one loss to Illinois.
Right, and the way it's setting up, I think each winner of the conference is going to get the first 4 seeds.
That's how I thought it looked too. So you win that conference, you're locked in.
Right.
For sure.
So you just can't lose 2 more games.
But you go to conference championship, you have a potential to play Oregon right now. So
yeah, very difficult.
Fun season right now. College football's been fun.
It is. It is very fun. And
for Husker fans, you lose, you don't go anywhere. I mean, we're 1 game away from a bowl game, which we haven't been to in fucking years. That's a win. So you get to 1 bowl game no matter what. If it's a toilet bowl, Pop-Tart bowl, I mean, it's a win. So
the Duke Mayo Bowl.
Will Levis there.
Yeah, disgusting. Put it in his coffee. What a weirdo. I did want to pitch an idea. Speaking of college football, I'm very interested to see how the 12-team playoff will look. I think it's going to be competitive. I think it's going to, you're going to have a couple games that are going to be absolute blowouts, from the, bottom seeds. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But I do think a very competitive alternate to the 12-team playoff. Now it's never going to happen because there's too much football anyway. Yeah. But let's just say the 12-team playoff 2 to 3 years from now isn't what we thought it was, and let's just say all the teams from the respective conferences continue to rise the way they are.
Mm-hmm.
What would you think about a Big Ten versus SEC.
Well, you know what's crazy because you brought that up. They're already talking about doing an ACC versus Big Ten type thing that like they do in basketball.
Yeah.
They're talking about doing that for football in college.
Oh,
I saw it on Twitter like 2 days ago.
Yeah. And I think it's a good idea. You take the top 6 teams from the Big Ten, the top 6 teams from the SEC.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the rankings, it's pretty much Big Ten SEC teams all the way through.
Oh, yeah.
They take away the majority. So that way you kind of deplete the ACC, the Big 12. I mean, they're solid teams, but they're not as competitive as the Big Ten and the SEC.
No, because you look at the Big Ten SEC, there's going to be 4 or 5 teams that come out of each conference in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that would be crazy though. An SEC Big Ten, you can really see like the run game versus the defense. Who's going to have the biggest power right there? I would be interested in it, but like you said, that's too much football.
A lot of football.
It's a lot of football. It's a lot of brain damage. A lot of Achilles.
Yeah.
But
a lot of CTE.
Yeah, a lot of CTE. But that shit would be so fire to see something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, think about it. You would have Texas versus Oregon. You would have, like, let's say, Georgia versus Ohio State, Bama versus Michigan, Nebraska versus, like, LSU.
Yeah. Like, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Make a little bracket out of that. Like,
yeah.
It'll be fun.
We know brackets. We know brackets.
Better than anybody right now.
That is facts. No one does brackets. Either that's a good thing or a bad thing.
We might be starting a wave or something. I don't know.
I don't know. We got to bring that back.
We do got to bring that back.